Wolfgang.
Alrighty. Hello.
Hey, dude. Rod Ryan, how are you?
How's it going? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, bro. Thanks so much for coming on with us. We did actually get a chance to meet once before. You came through Houston. You were playing bass with Tremonti.
Oh yeah. Yeah. How about that?
And I thought it was pretty great of Mark because I know that I didn't bring it up, but Mark took it upon himself and he said, yeah, it's cool. You know, we got the kid here and it's cool hanging out with the Van Halen, and he just looked at me and he said, the kid can play. He got that out of the way right away. I thought that was really cool of him.
That's nice of him. He's always been super sweet.
And then, of course, my buddy decided to get you to tattoo his arm. And I told you, make sure this looks good because he's getting it. You autographed his arm. And I said, do it good because he's going to get this tattooed. And he did.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Okay. So we played the song this morning. Congratulations. It's awesome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you
So here's just this is right after playing the song this morning. We got it in just before I got off the air at 10 o'clock. Here's just a couple. This song kicks ass, Rod. OMG, I'm crying. The Wolfgang song is so good, has a bit of a Lifehouse sound to it. If you're not fighting tears in your car right now, you have no soul. His dad is so proud. What an amazing song. So many onions being cut. Rod, I have goosebumps. Great song. I could do this for 20 minutes, dude. Everyone loved the song first time hearing it. So congratulations.
Wow. Thank you so much. That's amazing to hear.
I can only imagine when you're an artist. It doesn't matter if you're a painter or you're going to, your new song's coming out, but people are going to hear something for the first time. What's today like? Because we get to talk to some actors every now and then, and it's not until that opening weekend where people get to see the movie. What are you feeling today with your song finally being out there? I'm sure you've been sitting on it for a while. Now we can hear it.
It's an incredible feeling to one, be able to put out something I've worked, gosh, so I've worked for years. I've worked so hard on all of this, and then under the circumstances and. This isn't the first song that I thought people would hear, but considering everything that happened, it felt right to have such a personal song to be resonating with so many people is incredibly amazing. I never even expected this.
It's such an unbelievable personal song. And, our condolences, none of us knew him. I didn't know your dad, but we all loved him and we all felt really, really bad about it. And this song, the first time I heard it, because I got an advanced copy last week, and I'm thinking, there's no way that how did Wolfgang turn this song around so quickly? And you've had this song as is for a while now, correct?
Almost. For my album, I recorded almost 28 songs, and then certain ones fell off the wayside while we waited to kind of hone in on the ones that would be on the album that's going to be coming out soon. And Distance was a part of the songs that weren't 100% finished. And then when everything happened, I was like, we should finish it. Let's get it fixed up and get it all finished. The idea had been living throughout the whole process. So my dad had heard all of it, but it wasn't until everything that happened that it was like, we should finish this and have it be the first song out for Dad.
So you're telling me that this probably wasn't going to be the first single. This wasn't going to be your introduction to the world as a solo artist.
Oh, not at all. No, because I think the sound of the song is kind of an outlier in terms of the core sound of the band. The core sound is much more rock based, and this song is obviously much more ballady, if you will. For good reason, but yeah.
I can't think of another. I mean, of course, we haven't heard anything else, and I can't wait to get into this, but I can't think of a better introduction. This song, it's so raw, and it's so. My co-host Tessa this morning said she can't get off of the lyric when you say, "I'm so nervous." That's an introduction line, like, hey, this is me. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and I'm not with the band. It's me. It screams of a introduction song,
Yeah, It really is. It's great.
So when you talk about the recording process, I got to ask, where are you right now?
This is my home studio.
Okay. And is that where you recorded the album, where you're at now?
Some things, but no, the bulk of it was recorded at 5150.
Okay.
I did actually record the vocals for Distance in this room, though.
Really? Okay. So I kind of thought Dave Grohl, when he started Foo Fighters, he kind of sat in a room and he recorded all the instruments and everything himself. You do everything on this album, all the instrumentation and all the vocals, correct?
I wrote everything and played it all.
Was that going to be from day one? Is that what you wanted to do?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I just wanted to see if I could do it, first of all. And I think it worked out. Or, well, you guys will be the judge of it when the album.
So no guests at all on the album? Is every note and every vocal on the album yours when it finally comes out?
100%.
Did you think about having Dad on a track, maybe lay down a guitar solo or anything like that?
No, I think it was important that I do it all myself. And he agreed. It was never like granted, you can never please anyone, but of course, you'd have people saying like, of course he couldn't do anything on his own without his dad helping him. But it felt right to just have this be 100% me. And so it's an honest, attempt at me, at being myself, and see if people like it or not.
So let's talk about the new album. Because I imagine everything's kind of been, pandemic, personal things going on with your family. I imagine this year probably looked a lot different for you. When are you going to trickle songs out over time, or do you have a release date for an album?
There's no release date yet, but what I can tell you is that it'll be out next year. And
is it done? Is the album done?
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Okay. So you said you recorded, is that right, 28 songs?
Yeah.
So how brutal is that? Because you're not putting out a double album for your first album, are you?
Because there was half of it were kind of saved for later, not 100% finished. Distance being one of those. So it'll be a normal album length.
How much did you use your dad as a sounding board for things? Did you play him everything? Did you?
Yeah, he loved all.
With parents, it's your dad. It's hard for us to think about Eddie Van Halen, but that's your dad. So I imagine there's some things you kind of want to go it alone and do on your own, but how much did you run past him when you were recording?
Nothing really. He kind of just let me fly. Anytime he showed up to the studio was just to take it in and watch, never to be like, you should do this, you should do that. It was just to be there as a dad. He was never there as a producer or an engineer to try and change stuff. It was just, he was happy to watch the process. He was just happy to be there.
Now we've all known that you play bass. We've seen you in Van Halen. Is that the instrument that you're most comfortable with?
Oh no, I'm a drummer first and foremost.
Yeah?
I started playing drums when I was 10, and I'm absolutely the most comfortable on drums.
So I took drum lessons, and I went to a little shop, and I took an hour lesson, and I went home, and I had to practice 45 minutes every day, and then I just did that for week in, week out. Who taught you to play the drums?
Semi-taught myself. My dad basically just taught me how to do Highway to Hell with magazines on a table, just a straight up regular AC/DC drum beat. And then from there, I would listen to Van Halen Best of Volume 1 and Blink-182's Enema of the State. Those two albums were like the first albums I constantly played on the drums. And from there, I just kind of kept playing on my own, playing everything I like to listen to.
So when do you start morphing into the other instruments when drumming is your first love?
I picked up guitar when I was 12 because I wanted to play the song my dad dedicated to me, 316, at my 6th grade graduation. So I learned how to play that and only that just so I could play it. And then I didn't pick up bass until we started jamming together just because it was a fun thing. So I guess when I was 15.
Would you say that your dad gave you lessons though?
No, it was never like that, ever.
Never? Like, I mean,
He was not. He was an awful teacher. Well, because you can't with someone like him. I would ask him how to play something, and then he would proceed to be Eddie Van Halen. And to a beginner, that's just like, okay. And he's like, he's like, and then do that. It's like, I can't do that. That's why I'm asking you. He could never take you from step A to step C in order. It would just be immediate. And so, yeah, he was never really a good teacher. And he
Well,
could tell.
what about Uncle Al? Did he work with you on the drums at all?
No, not at all. Hard to believe.
You have two of the greatest people of their craft sitting right there, and you're kind of like, I got this on my own.
Yeah.
When we had you here in Houston, I thought it was cool. I sent out a tweet and I said, hey man, we got Wolfgang Van Halen here. It's so cool. I finally got to meet a Van Halen. The first person to respond to my tweet and because I tagged you, was your mom. I grew up watching your mom. She tweeted, she's like, hey, take care of my boy. It's so unbelievable how involved both of your parents are in you and your career. It's amazing to me. Like, your mom was right on top of that tweet, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah, she's a proud mom. It's even her Twitter handle.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
So I have watched her cooking show a little bit. Dude, did you grow up eating like that? Or is this like a late in life thing that she became this amazing cook?
She's always been a fantastic cook. Always.
Really? But she cooked like that all the time at home?
Oh yeah, she's crazy. She's crazy good at all that.
No hamburger helper for Wolfgang. She really is. She's pretty amazing on that show. Oh, that's for sure. Did she have any involvement? I'm curious about the video for the song. It's so personal, the song and the lyrics, but boy, when you start watching the video, and that was something that we talked about this morning on the air. Okay, the song is super strong on its own. It's an amazing song. When you watch it with the video, it's lights out. Was she involved with picking any of those clips out or helping you find some of those old family videos?
It wasn't so much picking out. It was just kind of scrambling to be like, hey, do we have any footage? And luckily she found a bunch of tapes, and some of that is in there. Luckily I had some DVDs that had been digitized from old footage, and we were able to to find all that great stuff to put together. So she was a great help finding some old tapes that we could get stuff off of it.
And is that something that you're also involved with as far as like putting together the video? Were you going through the clips, or did you just kind of hand it off to somebody and just, here, take it?
I was going through the clips and picking out like my favorite parts and stuff. And so was my Uncle Patrick too. He was a great help. And then we sent it off to my amazing editor, Chuck, who just sat there and put it all together. I felt so bad for him that he had to go through all of that constantly, because my manager, Tim, they were together at the time while they were working on it. He was just like, yeah, don't worry about us. Just two grown men crying in a basement.
And the end, I didn't tell people, and I think it's so new because it just came out today. I'm going to tell people this. When you watch the video, watch it to the very, very end. And if everything else didn't bite and grab you during the song and seeing all the clips, Wolf, that ending, it's almost too much. It's just unbelievable. I can't even imagine the wave of emotions that you feel, because we feel it when we're watching it. It's intense.
It hurts. I think that's just a sign of how strong the love was, and that we shared. You can really hear it. That's why I thought it was really important to put it at the end.
Was there a time after your father passed away, because everything's still pretty raw, I imagine that things got delayed and everything else. What made you want to get this out before the end of the year?
I thought it was important because we had been working on everything for so long, but this song meant so much to me and to him that I thought I could get it out in time for him, and also to support his favorite charity, which all the proceeds are going to.
Oh, I don't know about this. Tell me this angle, please.
Yeah, it's Mr. Holland's Opus. It's a charity
Oh, I
that,
love it.
that gets. It was his favorite charity. It helps underprivileged students to get instruments and make sure that they can have their stuff to learn everything and play when they might not be able to. And he was really close with them, and I wanted to almost give that as a gift to Dad. You know, kind of to pay tribute for Dad, and also support something that he felt really strongly about.
Dude, Richard Dreyfuss, Mr. Holland, they open up the curtain and all his students over the years are there playing his song. It gets me. That's one of the songs. That's one of the movies that actually gets me at the waterworks situation. It's one of my favorites. It really is. So you haven't told us when the album's going to be out. You don't have a date yet. What's interesting now is talking about and going out and touring for this. You did all the instrumentation. You did everything yourself. You're going to have to pick musicians at some point in your life. Do you have people that you have an idea of who you would take out on the road with you when, I mean, we're going to get to a point where we have concerts again, I hope. Do you know who you take with you?
Yeah, I actually have a band ready to go. We were rehearsing in 2018 when we thought we were going to be able to get out and go.
So are they cool? I mean, it's your project.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, if I was your drummer, I'm like, bro, put me on a track on the album. What's going on? There was no pressure to put them on the album?
No, they understand the deal of it, and they're just happy to be hanging out and playing. And they got my dad's approval, and that's all that really matters. He got to watch us play, and he was really stoked about it.
Anybody that we might know that's in the band?
Yeah, Garrett Whitlock, a drummer from Tremonti at the time, is going to be my drummer.
Wow.
Frank Sidoris, he played with or he plays with Slash, and Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. And then my buddy Ronnie Ficcaro, he played bass with Falling in Reverse and a band called I Am Ghost. And those three dudes are amazing, and they've really helped bring the tunes to life live.
I don't imagine anybody said no. I imagine everybody that you asked to be in your band said yes.
Yeah, no, it was more of a let's just play and see what happens, and it was right the second we all played together.
Just because I never got a chance to meet anyone else in your family, you play on a Van Halen album. Are you out of the running and asking a question? Do you have a favorite Van Halen album? If I played drums on a Van Halen album, that would be my favorite album. So I don't know if it's a fair question. Other than the one you played on, do you have a favorite Van Halen album?
I could only answer you in terms of singers, because I think they're kind of like for Roth era, it'd probably be a tie between Fair Warning and 1984, and for Hagar, it'd be a tie between For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge and Balance. I don't think Balance gets a fair enough shake. I think it's a fantastic album.
Just talking about those guys and so much mystery around the band itself. And we certainly didn't know the health issues that your father was going through, but there were so many rumors about Van Halen, like getting back together and maybe that original lineup and maybe even like Michael Anthony getting back in the band. Those talks were everywhere, but there was never anything to like really grab onto. Was that just all of us talking, or was there a chance of any of that?
Oh no, it was my idea. Over the years, I had been talking to Dad and introducing the idea of like, hey, hear me out, but this would be really cool. What if we had Mike come back and I could open? And over the next year or so, he started to warm up to the idea, and he was into it. And then we started joking around with the idea of the kitchen sink tour, everything but the kitchen sink, and just get everybody, get Hagar, get Sharon, get Roth, Anthony, and just we'd all get up on stage and just have a party, and we even spoke to Irving Azoff, the band's manager, and he got really excited about it and hit up Anthony. I think that's how the rumors got out. But by that time, Dad's health was in such a decline that we were kind of waiting until we could get over this hump till we could get back to it. And we never got to that point, unfortunately.
So as far as it got, because I'm thinking back, and it seemed like Michael Anthony was sitting on some kind of information. He was actually approached about rejoining.
Unfortunately, Irving hit him up before I had the chance to, because the plan was for me.
It was important for you to make the call, because you were conceptualizing the whole thing.
Yeah, and also I called Dave to bring him back in 07 too. So yeah, we just all agreed that would be a great thing to do, and it just kind of never got to that point, unfortunately.
It's been a rough go of it with rock stars over the last couple of years, and I know that there's been some tributes and there's been some shows and some things that have been put together. Probably the one that really sticks out to me is the Chris Cornell tribute that they did, and it was so respectful. It was amazing, and everybody turned out for that. Your dad's would be 3 times the size, maybe. Is there any talks of doing anything like that?
Not currently, but I wouldn't be against. I wouldn't see something like that not happening at some point. But it's not on the horizon yet. But I certainly wouldn't be against that happening at some point.
It would probably have to be something, though, that
we'd need it to be safe.
That you would have to be okay with. And I mean, you would, again, just like you were just talking with the reunion, it would be something that you would have to get the ball rolling. And I imagine you're probably busy with this album right now.
Yeah, but also, once we're able to all be touring and actually get together and celebrate live music, I'm sure there's an opportunity for us to do something like that.
One more Van Halen thing. Legendary stories, rumors of just millions of hours of tape, unreleased material. Everyone thinks that you're sitting on this mound of 1 million tapes. Are we close to that in what we think?
I mean, I wouldn't say 1 million, but gosh, there is a whole bunch of them. It's not an immediate priority.
Sure.
It would take a very long time, and if we're going to do it, I'd want to do it right. But I know if I immediately jumped into that, and Dad would probably be upset with me. I could hear him right now going like, "What are you doing going through my stuff?"
Was he a tidy guy? Meaning, is everything labeled, or is it? Are you going to have to go searching for everything?
We're like, I'm going to need to have Al sitting next to me, going like, "Hey, remember what this is called?"
Well, Wolf, I can't thank you enough for your time. We were so excited about this song. I had to kind of take myself out of all of this because, of course, I worship everything under the umbrella of Van Halen. And what I heard from a lot of people this morning is, losing a parent, there was this instant connection. So I'm wondering, do I like the song more because of losing my dad 20 years ago? I wish I could tell you that it gets better, but it doesn't. And I'm hearing this song and I'm like, is that the connection that I'm making? And I really thought after I stripped everything away, it's just a damn good song. It really is. It's the best introduction to you.
Thank you.
I can't think of a better one. And if you're telling me that this wasn't going to be the song that you were going to introduce yourself to the world, I can't wait to hear the rest of the stuff. That's for sure.
I'm excited for you to hear it.
I mean, we really, really can't wait. But you want to go out, you want to do live shows.
Absolutely.
Would you be ready to do live shows as soon as the country is ready to have live shows, or do you have a time frame for that? Do you want to put out the album first and then tour on it?
Yeah, I'd like to get the album out so people can get a taste of what the band has to offer.
And again, no time frame for that right now?
Yeah, no, just I can guarantee it'll happen next year though.
That's awesome. Wolfgang, thanks so much for your time. You're awesome. And this is going to be great. This is going to be great. Like having you on the air and, I live in the world of alternative, but to say that, hey man, stick around after the break, Van Halen is coming up. I've waited my whole career for that, dude. I really have.
Thanks so much, man.
All right, bro. Good luck to you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Peace.
Houston's Rockin' Alternative.
The Rod Ryan Morning Show, 6 to 10 a.m. 94.5 The Buzz.